Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The races got rained out this week, so that means we got at least one more week to the next race. And got the to-do list here, and I'm just going to keep on going down it. I want to change the intake and install an Evac kit. Next race should be Caney Valley Speedway Saturday if they don't rain out, but we'll see. I don't know when the next race will be, but we're going to be at the next available one. I run the single plane intake. This motor runs good, but it really comes alive mid straightaway on. Like the flag stand on, it really comes alive. So my backup motor here has the dual plane intake we can run. So all I'm going to do is take them apart and swap them, which is cool. I'll have to retime it, and I didn't mention in the last video, but the pulleys really helped. It ran the coolest it's ever ran, so I'm actually going to put a little more timing in it than I normally run. And the Evac kit, it's not going to be like a full Evac kit that goes to the headers. It's just going to be a tank with a breather on it so it can catch the blow-by, so it ain't getting all over the motor every single week. On the alternator, I don't know if I'm going to actually put an alternator on it. We'll see if I have time to do that. And I don't know if I want to add the weight or not. I like not having put a battery charger on it every week, but it's not that much of a nuisance. We'll see. But we'll get it ready and get ready for the next race. Let's get to work. The fit is trying to stand instead of what's supposed to be loose. There we go. I took the cap off because we could just make sure it's on top dead center and then point it back at number 1, but since all we're doing is changing the intake, I'm just going to take a picture of right where the distributor is right there and put it right back in where it is, and it should fire right back up. This carburetor is just a Willys that I bought right off the Speedway 4 years ago, and I bolted it on, and it's ran good ever since. I haven't touched it since. It's pretty nice. This motor actually looks really good in here. It looks nice and clean. It only has about 10 races on it. And that thing came apart so good, I'm going to scrub that silicone off and re-silicone the China rails and maybe put a little bit under the around the water jackets and leave them intake gaskets right back on there. Just set the new intake right on it. That'll be just fine. This thing is the same way. It came apart so clean. I'm gonna clean up that silicone and just put the other one right back on it. It's been a couple days, so the silicone is all set up because we're going to fire this thing up today. I wanted to talk real quick about an overlooked part, and that is carb spacers. When we first started, we had to run this Mr. gasket off the shelf, and it's wide open on the inside. And then when they open it up and let us run whatever we want, I discovered this one. It says Flow Design 7000. and it has a flat spot on the bottom to sit on that dual plane intake, and it really woke this car up. It felt like an entirely different carburetor. I mean, it revved a whole lot better. It's got this transition in the middle instead of just being a flat spot, and I like to put it on there and get it perfectly lined up. And I found this on Amazon, and it's worth every penny in my opinion because it really helped. Now I'm just going to revert back to the picture I took. You're putting this gear down into a gear on the cam, so if you get in the exact same spot, the distributor has no idea it ever came out. This is a Street Fire right off a shelf at O'Reilly's. It's about 5 years old and it's worked out pretty well. Now I just... That's too far. I'll have to come up. Oh. And go over this way a little more. And then slide it back in. Nope, we gotta go over one more tooth. So I'm gonna bring it up. Spin this thing to the left just a little bit before I set it back down in there. And then when I mesh all that together, it's being difficult. There we go. When I went to unplug the distributor, this thing came apart, so my brother came over and opened the pins up and put it back together. I'm about to solder it back on. I'm not only a mechanic, I'm somewhat of an electrician also.
And a dad.
Oh yeah, and a dad.
Dad.
Yes, son.
Are you filming?
Mm-hmm. What's up?
What's up?
I'm just filming this YouTube video. Well, this is the stuff that you're probably not going to see on the other channels when stuff don't go right. This was supposed to be a quick bolt everything on here and start this car up, and then it got bad. I put this end on upside down, and then when I tried to get it out, my solder held, and it completely broke this end. So what I'm about to do is, I had this laying on my shelf. I'm going to take this plug-in off, connect both these green wires into there, splice that onto here, and then we're going to be back in business. But it's just a little bit of a setback. Okay, crisis averted. All right, it still works. I put a red rag in the funnel just to make sure nothing solid gets down in there. I don't really know the best way to get this on film, but I got my timing gun connected to the solenoid and a ground. It's giving it power. I set it to 36 degrees, and the 00, that'll be the tach whenever it's running. The other end of my timing gun goes to my spark plug on number 1. It's pointed that way. If you can see in there, there's a mark, and there's a mark on my balancer. And I rev the engine up, and when those marks line up, that means it's at 36 degrees. And then you just lock it down. You just turn the distributor and rev it up, and timing is that simple. So that's what we're about to do. The distributor's not tight enough. I can see it moving while the car is just sitting here trying to idle. So we're going to tighten it up a little bit. On to the next thing. Out of all the hillbilly stuff I've done to this car, this is actually going to be one of the most sophisticated things. My buddy gave me this for free at work. He said he wasn't ever going to use it. Shout out to Jimmy. I did buy this, and it was $60 for this thing, and I thought, wow, $60 for this little piece of aluminum. So that wasn't going to work. On the second one, my buddy runs a machine shop here in town, H&L Performance Engine, and he got a lathe. I just took that over to him and told him to make me a cap for the front one. And so there's that. I'm going to mount that tank. There's really nowhere to put it over here on the driver's side. There's a mess of brake lines, and I got to zip tie those wires up. So it's going to go all the way over there on the passenger side, and those things just slide down and have a set screw. This one I'm kind of afraid of leaking. It's the $60 one. It had O-rings in here. Hopefully it don't leak, but if it does, we'll just have to address that. So I got $60 in this whole thing. We're about to get it on there. Let's get to work. I put the breather on and just measured how long of a hose I needed and what ends I needed, and went to the local parts store, and they made me a hose, and this thing turned out pretty darn good. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. The Jeg, Zafco, Frisky Motorsports, Chili's 24 factory stock is ready to go for the next one. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.